Donald Trump is reportedly demanding that the Justice Department compensate him around $230 million for damages stemming from previous federal investigations into his criminality. This unprecedented claim introduces stark potential for ethical conflict, as any settlement may ultimately require approval from top DOJ officials who previously served as Trump's personal attorneys or close advisors.
Are you asking the Justice Department to look into the federal investigations into you and look for compensation, and how much are you asking for?
Who's asking for what?
Are you asking the Justice Department to pay you compensation for
compensation?
Your federal investigations into you? Are you asking them to pay compensation, and how much?
Into me? I don't get any compensation. I do it for nothing. I gave up my salary. Into me?
No, it's going to be the Justice Department. Are you asking them to pay you compensation for the federal investigations that happened to you? And how much are you asking for?
Well, I guess they probably owe me a lot of money for that. Probably, yeah, that's true. That's very interesting.
Trump, who became the subject of extensive federal law enforcement scrutiny whilst a presidential candidate, is now in the unique position of overseeing the executive branch that must review his financial claims. This scenario has been highlighted by critics as the starkest potential conflict of interest created by placing the president's former legal team in top Justice Department posts.
And we have numerous cases having to do with the fraud of the election, the 2020 election, and because of everything that we found out, I guess they owe me a lot of money. But I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for really. I think it's got to be handled in a proper way. If it's not handled in a proper way, we don't want it to happen again. We can never let what happened in the 2020 election happen again. We just can't let that happen. And so the way we go, I know Keisha's working on it, everybody's working on it, and certainly Tulsi's working on it.
The demands were submitted through an administrative claim process, which is often a required step before a formal lawsuit can be filed if a settlement is not reached. The president has lodged 2 specific complaints with the department. The first claim, filed in late 2023, seeks damages for alleged violations of his rights stemming from the FBI and special counsel investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election and possible connections to his campaign. The second claim, filed this year, focuses on the 2022 lawful search of his Mar-a-Lago residence. This complaint alleges that the FBI violated the president's privacy during the search for classified documents. The complaints reportedly accuse former Attorney General Merrick Garland, former FBI Director Christopher Wray, and former Special Counsel Jack Smith of malicious prosecution. The requested settlement amount, $230 million, is critical. Under Justice Department procedure, any administrative claim settlement exceeding $4 million must be approved by the Deputy Attorney General. This rule brings the president's former personal lawyer, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, directly into the approval process. Before joining the regime, Mr. Blanche defended Mr. Trump in multiple high-profile cases, including his New York criminal trial and his federal classified documents case. The White House has deferred all questions on the matter to the Justice Department. A department spokesperson stated that in any circumstance, all officials at the Department of Justice follow the guidelines of career ethics officials. When reporters asked Trump about the demand at the White House, he confirmed his position, stating, "Well, I guess they probably owe me a lot of money." He added that if he did receive the funds, he would do something nice with it, like give it to a charity or give it to the White House while we restore the White House. Trump has rarely given money to charity. Donald Trump has long argued that the previous administration and Democrats had weaponized the Justice Department against him for political reasons. The news has been met with harsh criticism from Democrats. The Democratic National Committee chair stated that Mr. Trump won't help Americans, but he'll sure help himself, and accused him of trying to get the government to pay him $230 million in legal damages using taxpayer dollars. According to former Justice Department officials, there is no specific requirement for the department to immediately disclose the settlement of administrative claims. If the department does ultimately pay out a multi-million-dollar sum to Trump, the details may not be immediately clear to the public. The investigations that form the basis of Trump's claims for compensation are part of a broader, decades-long history of legal scrutiny involving Trump, corruption, and his businesses. Prior to his presidential run, his organization faced civil actions, including a 1973 federal housing suit, and he was found guilty in a civil fraud lawsuit in New York State Court. Following his first stab at the presidency, he became the first former president to be criminally charged, facing 4 separate indictments in multiple jurisdictions on matters ranging from election interference to the falsification of business records. In all cases, it was grand juries that found him guilty, and not the Justice Department personally. This extensive record of legal battles provides the backdrop for the federal law enforcement probes that Trump now argues were unwarranted and merit a massive taxpayer-funded payout. As of this month, Trump still faces one ongoing criminal case in Georgia, multiple civil lawsuits, and numerous challenges to executive actions taken during this second presidency. The federal criminal cases that he faced have been dismissed, and the New York hush money case resulted in a conviction, but with no penalties. The civil cases against Trump and his businesses are currently pending appeal. The New York Attorney General's office sued Trump and his company, the Trump Organization, for knowingly and intentionally creating over 200 false and misleading valuations of his assets. A judge found Trump, his company, and his associates liable for fraud. Trump is appealing the ruling and penalties of $364 million plus $100 million in interest. In May 2023, a jury found Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation, awarding E. Jean Carroll $5 million. In January last year, a second jury awarded Carroll an additional $83.3 million in damages for Trump's defamatory comments. Trump is, of course, appealing the damages. And in May 2024, a Manhattan jury found Trump guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. In January this year, a judge sentenced Trump to an unconditional discharge with no jail time, no fines or probation. After Trump's election win, a judge dismissed the federal classified documents case. In November 2024, the Department of Justice dropped its appeal, citing its long-standing policy against prosecuting a sitting president. And the obstruction case of February 2020, the Supreme Court ruled that Trump had immunity for official presidential acts, but not for unofficial acts related to the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. The case was dismissed without prejudice in November last year based on the Department of Justice's policy of not prosecuting a sitting president. Meanwhile, California and Illinois have filed lawsuits challenging Trump's executive actions and deployment of the National Guard in those states. Rulings have blocked the deployment of these troops. The Federal Appeals Court has also blocked Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act to quickly deport migrants. Multiple lawsuits are pending against executive orders that restrict diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives across the federal government and its contractors. And lawsuits are also pending against this year's executive actions that roll back transgender rights, including restrictions on gender-affirming care for minors and a ban on transgender people in the military. Donald Trump is also the only president to have a mugshot. On August 24, 2023, after being indicted on racketeering and related charges, Donald Trump voluntarily surrendered himself to authorities at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, Georgia, where the mugshot of him was taken. After its publication, the mugshot was used on merchandise by Trump's 2024 presidential campaign, in internet memes, and featured on various media reports worldwide. Earlier this year, Trump placed it on display at the entrance to the Oval Office.
You know, I get no salary. I gave up my salary. It's a good salary. Not as much as these guys make, but that's okay. It's a lot of money. And I don't, as you know, I didn't take it in the first 4 years. I'm not taking it in these 4 years either. But as far as all of the litigation and everything that's been involved, yeah, they probably owe me a lot of money. But if I get money from our country, I'll do something nice with it, like give it to charity or give it to the White House while we restore the White House. And we're doing a great job in the White House. As you know, the ballroom is under construction. It's going to be, they've been trying to get it for 150 years, and it's really, I think it's going to be fantastic. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask the lawyers about that.
I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with MeidasTouch.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.